So what happened over the weekend? We did a texting tutor on Friday, and she wanted some money from her friend because she got a speeding ticket while trying to help the friend out, and she wanted some money from the friend. Friend's like, nah, that's not going to happen. So what happened over the weekend? We'll get an update in just 1 second. I know a couple of you guys for the last couple of weeks or last couple of months have almost been laughing when the suggestion that TikTok is going to be going away in the United States. You guys, oh, come on, TikTok's not going anywhere. Yeah, I think it might be. Montana was the first state to say, no TikTok in our state. They just passed banning TikTok, which vows to continue the fight for First Amendment rights. That's what TikTok says. But Montana would become the first state here in the U.S. to fully ban TikTok starting next year. The state legislature passed a bill on Friday that bans TikTok. They're a little bit nervous about the Chinese-owned company and information of people in their state being spread. So they are trying to ban it in the state.
Okay, I don't think anybody really cares what people in Montana are doing, but that's okay.
I do. Yellowstone?
Okay, yeah.
I'm very infested.
That's a TV show. But from a logistical standpoint, how does one execute a ban of an app of TikTok? Like, are you going to be checking everybody's phones? Like, how do you even do that?
Geo-targeted. So if the app goes to specific zip codes in Montana, they just shut it off.
Can you do that?
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but if they're using it gets complicated because even here where we are, sometimes our computers, when they're connected to Wi-Fi, might show up as we're in New York or Ohio.
Yeah.
So the easiest way would be to ask people their location. And so you would just block anyone who says their address is Montana, which would then give them a workaround. But you can do geofences as well. It would be very difficult, but it's definitely doable because they have different restrictions in different countries. So they can definitely do different things in China or Singapore or the U.S. So it's doable.
So if this passes, TikTok would face up to $10,000 per day per violation if they continue to operate in Montana. And the state could also impose a whole bunch of penalties on Apple and Google if they allow the apps to Montana users. So they're going for it.
No TikTok stars are coming out of Montana. This is a real loss for us.
Those are gone. Yes.
Crazy question. Why can't somebody in America make an American version of TikTok?
Well, I mean,
And then we have
Instagram
our
is
own
doing that
thing.
with Reels, essentially. Like, it's trying to make it.
Because other countries steal stuff from us. I remember Russia had, instead of Everybody Loves Raymond, something like Everybody Loves Ivan. And it was totally unlicensed.
Well, that's part of the conversation was forcing TikTok to sell to an American company. But after they finish their what's called Project Texas, all of the data is going to be stored for the U.S. on U.S. soil. So it doesn't, and I was watching the news, and I use that term loosely, and what was being reported about TikTok and how its algorithm works was absolutely incorrect. It was so far off the mark, and that's the problem is I feel that decisions are being made based off gut emotions and not actual physical evidence, which we've seen none, and not on facts.
The hearings were embarrassing, 100% embarrassing about it. But again, Montana might be the very first state to say no TikTok in our state. All right, an update here on our texting tutor from Friday.
She has a friend who had a date, and she wanted to get to the date, but the date was pretty far, so she didn't want to get an Uber. So she called our listener, who called with our help, and asked if she would take her to the date instead. And so she said yes, and she went out of her way to go pick up a friend. And she was late to the date, so she was kind of pressuring her friend to speed so that they can get there on time. And in doing so, they were pulled over. So obviously, she got a speeding ticket, of which she felt like her friend could at least offer to pay, if not all of it, half of it. And so we tried to get her to convince her that she was partially responsible and she should come up with at least half of the ticket. And the friend felt like, I don't have it. I don't feel like I owe you that. That was your decision to speed. That was not on me. And she didn't feel like she owed her anything. So we kind of had to leave it to where she felt like the friend was being dismissive of her and her needs. And so she decided that she wasn't even going to talk to her at all anymore. And she wasn't even going to bring up the speeding ticket anymore. And that's kind of where we left it.
I'm curious because I missed this because I was out sick with the norovirus. Did you feel like she should cough up money for the ticket?
The friend?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We felt like she should have offered. Like, she shouldn't have even had to ask the friend. The friend should have just, in her own right, said, you know what, this is partially on me. I should pay for this.
Who financially is doing better than our listener also, so it wasn't even a matter of money.
Yeah, but the listener was driving. You're a grown woman. You make your own decisions.
That's what I said.
Did you really?
I said that, but then I had to pretend that I was on board because everybody else saw it. Yeah.
No, don't do that.
Don't do that.
So here is the update from Erica. After our text exchange, I decided to call Annie to talk about the issue in more detail. I hope that maybe we could find some common ground, but unfortunately, she was adamant that she had no responsibility for the ticket. She even suggested that if I was so sure she should contribute, I should go to court and dispute the ticket, telling the judge the whole story to see if they would agree with me. That's really not what the issue is.
No.
She's not denying that she was speeding. She's saying I was, but the friend was like saying, basically like putting so much pressure on her. She was just trying to get her there for the date. So honestly, I was pretty shocked by her reaction, is what she writes. I thought we could at least find a compromise or come to an understanding, but it seems like Annie is not willing to budge on the issue. I'm disappointed, to say the least. For now, I'm not sure how this is going to impact our friendship. It's a tough situation, and I'm trying to wrap my head around everything. I don't want to lose a friend over speeding ticket, but it's hard not to feel hurt by her refusal to take any responsibility in it. At this point, I'm less concerned about the money and more concerned about how rude and selfish she's being. At the very least, I plan to step back and distance myself from her for a while. I've already canceled my participation in a weekend girls trip that we both were part of. I actually told our friend that that is organizing it, that I had to back out due to money concerns. Hopefully, word will get back to Annie that I can't go because I'm broke, and maybe guilt will kick in. Don't count on that.
Nope.
That said, I'm not holding my breath.
Yeah, I don't think Annie has any kind of conscience. She might even be relieved that you're not showing up to the girls' weekend.
Probably. Thinks she'll have a good time without you in her face making her feel bad.
So if you were here, you would have said, look, you were the one that was putting the foot on the accelerator. You shouldn't ask her for anything.
Nobody forces you to do anything. You made a decision to speed. I mean, yeah, you had your friend in your ear, but you very easily could have said, no, shut up. This is my car. I'm going to drive the speed limit.
I did say that technically that's the case, but if you were the friend that got the favor, you wouldn't have offered out of like just feeling like you didn't have to come get me and I would have had to pay to him.
Of course, I'm a decent person.
Annie is not.
Are you okay, Annie?
The Bert Show.
So first, thanks for watching. Second, you like what you just watched? That just scratches the surface. Get the Bert Show on any podcast platform. We're so good.